So again, one of my primary platform points is land reform. And the fact that I believe that, in a way, the last people who should have total control over land are developers, because all they want to do is develop. That's all they know. You know, it's kind of like, I think that the last people who should be bosses are people who want to be bosses, you know, because that abuse of power could come into play. This is state land again, like I stated, and so therefore should be publicly led development. And this seems to be privately led for private profit. And we're seeing the difficulty that's coming from that. This is state land. There's not a lot of coastland left. And this is a coastal issue up and down California. Right now, outside of Half Moon Bay, south of San Francisco, there some big developer, some big landowner, gazillionaire, is buying up the coast and now eliminating access of the people who have been using the coast, our land, for, you know, generations and generations, and now they're not able to use the land. So this isn't just a local issue, it's a values issue. And so I think that anyone in state office has got to come from a principled point of view, all across the board, whatever. Because if I were in the assembly, sure, I'd be advocating for and voting on local issues, but also I'd be voting on everyone's state issues. And so you have to come from a matter of principle. And my principle is that public lands need to be publicly developed for the public good, and that you cannot, and it's in my platform, you cannot continue to create and support a culture of land hoarding and land grabbing and overdevelopment. Again, it abuses people and abuses the planet. I'm for modernizing Ports of Call, the area down there by the coast, beautiful, but not at the expense of really profound community assets like Ports of Call Restaurant.
Okay, now we're rolling.
What is the solution for this situation we have here with Ports of Call?
Well, you know, I don't think it's fait accompli, right? It's first day of spring, March 20th, 2018. We can still resolve this. And like I said, as you remember, at the Central San Pedro Neighborhood Council at our board meeting last week, is that development, in order to be sustainable, in order to have a buy-in from the community, and you've seen what San Pedro does when they don't have a buy-in, they hit the streets. But in order to have a buy-in, it can't be an us or them type of mentality. It can't be an either or. You win, I lose, zero sum. You know, that's the Trump game, and we're not interested in that in San Pedro. I think that development should be much more of both and so the more voices you have coming to the table about what could be solutions, the more possibility you have these ideas that you wouldn't have had before. One idea that I have is, and I've heard other people talk about, is, yeah, you keep those retro businesses. I work with high schoolers, right? They want retro. People, we want community, we want stability. And you could have the historical buildings kind of in a historical area, call it historical Ports of Call, and even make it like a retro attraction. I definitely believe that this area needs to be promoted as an attraction. I get that, I understand that. But caring about community and really uplifting history is an attraction that's now and in the future. And sometimes I think developers, no matter how forward thinking they think they are kind of like the military. They're fighting current wars, really thinking about how past wars were fought. And so current development, no matter how modern they try and say that they are, they're really using old language and old methodologies, and it's community first, then development, not developers and then coming to the community, because you're going to get this kind of problem. So, so that's a solution, uplifting the history of Ports of Call.